My name is Rick Lawrence. I'm a longtime editor of Group Magazine, and I just love Doug's podcast. I think it's the greatest thing. He's told me all about it. In fact, he's actually the one who told me how great it is. I haven't really listened to it yet. But I'm sure it's good because Doug said so. So, listen to Doug's podcast. I will too.
Is that your intro music?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this is it.
Oh, nice.
This is it.
We're jamming today.
I can start with the crib walk sometimes.
That's right.
It's a surprise to everybody.
Oh, not a surprise to me.
This is the hip hop podcast from the office of
Okay.
Well, you have the hip hop dancer down there too.
Brazel, you're not supposed to talk.
Sorry.
All right.
Operate the camera.
Here we go. Hi, everybody. Doug Fields. This is the Simply Youth Ministry, Purpose-Driven Youth Ministry, Doug Fields podcast. Currently number 2 on iTunes.
Number 2.
I
could not believe it.
And I'm here with my friends Matt McGill
That's me. Hello.
and Director-Manager of PDYM, Josh Griffin.
Hi, everybody. Video land.
Director, manager. Were you trying to make it sound a little bit more important?
Thank you.
He's
Last
not
week I
just
was
the
like,
director.
here's
he's
this
also
other
the
guy.
manager.
I haven't been introduced
Okay,
yet,
sorry.
so
Sorry.
please be
Natalie, who is really the only one with any talent in this room.
So
Natalie
true.
is the incredible designer at Simply Youth Ministry. And if this is your first time listening to this podcast, we have a couple goals that we want to be encouraging, that you're not alone as a youth worker.
We want to be encouraging,
Right.
just not to each other.
That's right.
That's
I'm
By
not
tearing each other
excited.
down, you feel better about yourself.
We want it to be helpful. We're going to give some training. I've got a bunch of questions that people have sent in that we're going to try to answer. Insights, share resources. It's obviously fun. Very,
Absolutely.
very fun.
I mean, just look at the team,
And it's evolving. It's
Yeah, it
evolving
is.
that we don't exactly sure. It's our third podcast, our second official one. And we've kind of given it a little subtitle called Just Enough Youth Ministry, so you don't feel guilty for listening or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Well, I
Something to that effect.
All right,
I
sorry.
went online and apologized for the first time ever in my life.
All right, let me just read you an email about this. It's a fun one from Phil Owen, and he is from Clio,
Michigan.
Yes. Here we go.
Yay.
Phil.
He says, I'd like to thank you, blah, blah, blah. My senior pastor and a few other people walked by, and I had the video podcast on. And he asked what I was watching. I said, well, that's Doug Fields there. And he interrupted and said something like, oh, like some training? And I said, yeah, I added the word podcast in there to sound technologically savvy and
Well
didn't
done.
have to feel
Nice.
sneaky because there's just enough in there to be the truth.
That's
That's
so
perfect.
And
That's what we're after.
But
Just
how,
enough.
how funny that the senior pastor walks by and it's mostly a staff meeting goofing off.
Yeah.
A cheesy
There's a
podcast.
phone
We
now
brought
right
the
here.
phone in here
Can you
because
do you
we
see
want to
this?
call somebody, and Josh was supposed to think ahead of how it's supposed to happen, right, Matt?
We
Yeah.
put
And
the
now
phone-
we put the phone in here, and
And
the
just-
phone calls are going to ring on our
We're gonna
podcast.
have to take a few calls during the show, so I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you
All
for
right,
calling
I
Simply
like the
Ministry.
standards of youth workers today. Just enough truth. Like
That's
the
right.
truth itself isn't really.
Oh, don't get philosophical on us. Just weigh in so
Oh,
we
weigh
know
in.
how
Time
much.
to weigh in.
All right,
Yeah.
for those of you that
Okay.
didn't listen, those of you who didn't listen last week, however many pounds Matt is, over 300.
2 pounds more, which is 328.
328.
320.
I consider
is
that
not
a good
good to
week
you.
when I only gained 2 pounds.
All right, it's a 28-minute podcast. Now, Matt, I got a couple emails last week
Yeah.
of people that are kind of feeling a little uncomfortable about us doing the weight thing with you.
We got a couple calls too. Would you like me to play them?
The fact that we can play calls is very sweet. Did
We
we
can.
fix it this week so it doesn't sound like it was last week's podcast? When we go into
did
the
a little-
audio?
We did a
Yeah.
little bit.
Okay.
I'm not really audio savvy.
All right.
But here we go.
Who's this
Hey,
from?
this is Mark from Bourbonnais, Illinois. Hey, for the love of Tubby's everywhere, leave Matt alone. I like him. Hey, the show's great. Love you guys, and keep it up. Bye.
Okay. For the love of what?
For the love of Pete.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know what he
Okay,
said.
so
That is.
leave Matt alone.
There was one. There's
Was
someone
there
else
another
called.
one?
There was someone else called.
Yeah, that's nice though.
What's up, guys? This is Mama Cass from Kings Mountain, North Carolina. Just want to start off and let you know I had no idea what a podcast even was until I got the info off of the website. So I don't know if that just shows you what a total loser I am.
No, not a
But
loser.
I just wanted to give you guys a shout out. The show is totally awesome. And how about laying off of Matt? Okay, he's hilarious.
Oh.
Guys, I love you. Josh, Natalie, great, but Matt makes the show. It's all about the dry sarcasm. And just another little info. I watched your show on my day off, so that's just how totally awesome you are.
That is awesome.
Wow.
How totally awesome we are, or how out of balance she is.
Hey,
Hard to say. You know, she loves you, and we're great.
We're great.
She doesn't love us.
A little bit,
Yeah,
yes.
Thank you for that. Thank you, Monica. Appreciate it.
What, like you're number 2 on iTunes and you've got an email already?
Yeah,
That
all
people are
the
supposed to-
religion and spirituality section.
Yeah, those people are supposed to love him already.
All
Okay,
I'm looking for is a little love.
okay, here's what I'm thinking. Natalie, I got a new idea for your little bell.
Oh, outstanding.
If somebody doesn't give their, if I say like this is from Todd Eckstein, and there's no church, you would hit that. No church, no city or state.
Because we want people to know. Give us your
When you
city,
send an email,
tell us your
Is that
church.
the moron bell?
Wow. Yeah, they're going to get really sick of that bell, so
Well, no,
they'll
hopefully we will train people to
exactly start
do. Anyway,
doing
Todd wrote an
He's
email.
quite youthy. He spelled "Hey Kids" with a Z.
Oh,
Very nice.
This is
Hip
completely.
on the edge of youth culture.
He is. He
All right.
writes for relevance.
Now listen.
Oh man.
He says, I hope this, lastly, he wrote a bunch of stuff that I forget what he said because I just circled the Matt part. I hope this is not too serious. Matt seems to take a serious beating with you people about his weight. Listen, while I'm assuming he's used to it, I wonder if he's totally okay and secure about it, and how you all have built a strong enough love with him to be able to goof with him about it.
That's a fair question.
Honestly, I don't know any overweight guys whose mass I'd feel totally okay about using jokingly. I know y'all are too deep. You're not too deep. Y'all aren't too into the deep things on the podcast, but it's something I noticed.
Yeah.
Now, man, why don't we address this up front?
Yeah.
Are you hurt by the?
You know, I mean, this is something that we talk about a lot. As people,
Yeah.
if people come into our world. I mean, obviously, out there in the camera land, hello, exclusive, can't look at the mic, but can look at the camera. Fat jokes don't, I mean, they don't bother me. I mean, obviously, I think it's funny, and I think definitely I would never make fun of another fat person unless I knew him really well. But it's just part of who I am. I don't really care that much. So there you go. I know lots of people have Bible verses they try and throw around, like your body's a temple, and of course that's always in the context of spirituality, and sexuality. So I guess that I really don't understand.
I don't know. I'm thinking about you using the word sexuality kind of groups me.
Thanks for weighing in on that, Matt. That was a very heavy subject for us. So.
That's right. Like I'd make fun of Josh being fat, and I don't care if I'm fatter than him.
Okay, here's the deal. The reason I feel okay, I've known you when you were in 9th grade in my youth group, you were fat. And I didn't make,
that's the funny thing.
I didn't make fun of you when you were a teenager, but as you got older, and I actually thought maybe you'd start losing some weight and care, because now it's kind of like passive aggressive with me, because I'm afraid that I'm going to lose my best friend because he's going to die before he's 35. But
if my heart's 5 pounds bigger than yours, I say it's better.
All right, all that to say,
Natalie's totally shocked.
He's not bothered by it.
That was the Office-style documentary.
His heart, is your spirit
Someone
okay
gave
with
an
this?
email about how I wasn't aware of the camera. They didn't realize.
I'm really not paying attention.
He's like talking.
By the way, we got to figure out how to get the video on iTunes. So if anybody knows how to do that,
send us an email, a detailed email explaining how to do that.
How to get video on iTunes.
I have no idea.
But we are on iTunes. You know, for those of you that are listening, like I do, I listened to it. I'm playing the other day. I don't watch it, but I listen to it. And if you don't know what Matt looks like, we got an email from Switzerland, from All Saints Anglican Chaplaincy. Tim,
not even a full church,
Tim Shin from Switzerland, and he says Matt looks like the Numa guy.
This is awesome. If you're familiar at all with the internet, you know the Numa guy, the most downloaded video of 2005.
Oh, is that
we're gonna link to it,
in his room?
and it goes, and it's you. It's like a young. It's a young Matt McGill.
Okay, let's on our website.
We will link to it. You must watch the Numa Dance.
All right, let me read you some other emails. Matt, somebody got ticked off at you last week. Matthew Anthony from Village View Community Church in Summerfield, Florida. He got mad at you because you made a Mac comment.
Yeah.
And then he goes on to rip you because And Matt does not know about the video camera. He's asking Josh if he was showing the paper to the mic.
That was the guy.
Duh, Matt, get it together. Sorry, I'm bitter after the Mac comments.
Matt was macking on Mac.
Recognize a bit.
No.
I think that's your first real diss, though.
Well, it's pretty. You're
It's
right.
strong.
Most
It's
people
Oh, we
Gill.
love him.
You
Most
know,
people
love his weight.
The Mac, you know, when they've got 3.5% of the market, they're a fierce 3.5% of the market. And so
Vocal
that's right.
minority.
Is that true?
You know what I would do?
Oh,
let's
yeah.
save that for the Twit podcast.
The
Technology, isn't that it?
I don't know.
Whoa.
Andy would know.
Whoa.
We could ask Andy, the camera
It's
guy.
Twit.
I'm not on the podcast.
Yeah, raise
All
your
right,
sugar
Silence.
He's not here.
Here's
He's
another
not
one.
here.
We're talking over.
Wait a minute.
We're talking over each other a lot.
We're excited.
But we got advice from Brazel. He's got to not drink his drink and sniff his nose next to the
Yeah,
microphone.
somebody who
That's
watched
true.
it.
So they could hear him breathing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a heavy breather, but
For those of you
camera
that don't
stopper.
know, Andy Brazeltoon kind of runs Simply the Images behind the camera, and we don't let him on the podcast because we've decided that he's just not funny.
we have a clip proving that.
Oh, we have several. Well, let's do that next week.
Yeah, let's.
Here's another one from Nick Carnes, pastor to students at Evans Community Church in Evans, Georgia.
That's cool.
He says, it looked like Josh was the younger kid trying to get noticed by the older kids.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe
that's
you should
awesome.
have Josh and Matt switch seats next week so Matt can get, or Josh can get
All
involved.
right, so I am the manager of podcasts at Simply Youth Ministry. It took everything in my power to send that to you guys
Yeah.
because I was like, I could just delete Nick from ever existing.
You know what? You got to make a commitment right now before all of the people that listen that you will not do that.
Yeah, you're a journalist now.
Oh yeah, I'm a fair and balanced.
fair and
Here,
balanced.
here's another one. Get ready.
I
love
wasn't
you, Nick.
voted in on
You're
that one.
Nick, unsubscribe, Nick. Thanks.
No,
Thank you.
come on. Here is this is from Matt.
Chili con
No church.
No church.
And
No
it's not
church.
the gate.
And no city. All right.
Oh, come on.
Poor.
This
This is, you should do the podcast at Taco Bell.
is, ooh.
Then he says naked.
Oh dear.
Oh wait, 315 pounds. Never mind.
Oh, well, first of all, I appreciate the compliment at saying 315 pounds.
Yeah,
That's quite nice.
Very,
That was
very
neat.
nice.
Hey, let's do this. Let's jump into one question right now. I got a whole stack of questions, and we'll just kind of pick them out. We'll go to some of the stuff that we've talked about. This is from Trey Griggs at First Baptist Church in O'Fallon, Missouri. He says, I have 175 students in our youth ministry, and I really want to split into middle school and high school ministry. When is the right time to split to having a middle school and a high school ministry, and how separate are they? Completely? Partially? That's a big youth group, 175
Right,
students.
sure
When
is.
was the time to split? Probably about 2 years ago when you were at 50. I shouldn't have laughed. I didn't
you're
mean I didn't mean to
laughing.
laugh.
Laugh.
I know. Can we edit that out?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
okay.
prefer to look at 175 people as like 2 meals. You wouldn't eat 2 meals at the same time. You would split it apart.
Here's my common response. Whether you have 175 students or you have 40, I would split them apart as soon as I had the appropriate adult leadership. A 6th grader, middle school student,
Yeah.
7th grader is so age different, age appropriate behavior and humor and teaching than a 17, 18-year-old senior in high school. Most people that keep their youth ministries together, the older kids don't come because it has kind of been lowered. All the standards have been lowered. So I would say to Trey, if you have the leadership, split them. How separate are they? I think there's times you do things all together. You bring them together and say, you know what, we're a student ministry. You have a praise and worship time, once a month or once a quarter. Do things occasionally, but you definitely have a lot of students, and I would split them. But again, just my opinion. It says, hey, Natalie, how about a shout out to the student ministry at First Baptist Church?
Oh, is that?
I don't know why he says, hey,
Yeah,
Natalie, but
because you gave a shout out last
just a
week.
shout
so
out.
yeah, because he says, I'll
Just
play
a
it for my
shout
kids
out.
during our services. So
All
go
right,
ahead.
Okay, wait, what is it again?
Here we go.
First Baptist. Shout out to Trey.
Bring in the cowbell or something like that.
More cowbell.
More cowbell.
Here we go. Give it a shout out.
And a cowbell. Here we
Shout
go.
out to First Baptist Church in O'Fallon. What is that? M-O?
Mo.
Missouri.
Missouri.
Mississippi.
Now, you forgot to note the one
That's
exception.
for you.
If you're from
All right.
Montana, send us an email. It's going to be fun.
We got a lot of emails and we got some phone calls. We've got one.
We're done with that last question?
Yeah, unless you want to add to that?
Well, I was just going to say that the only exception is that if you know, between seniors and 7th graders, you know, if your seniors are, you know, I mean, if you, well, let's just go on.
Can we edit that?
Yeah. We need to edit that.
And we're back. Welcome to the podcast, everybody.
I just edited myself. I was going to make a joke that I thought was too far over the line.
Well, I'm thinking to myself, and every once in a while when I can't get to emails, I let Matt answer for me.
Yeah.
And that's
Who knows what he said to people all
here's
across
what
the
I
country.
was about to make a joke about homeschool students.
Oh, I love those jokes.
We
Those
love
are high.
I was, and I killed it because I censored myself.
Oh,
There you go.
yeah. You gotta learn to just let it go.
All we
It's a
know,
podcast.
hit some bells, because all we know is that's a first.
I think
And
that's
here we go.
good.
All right,
Welcome back.
we've got a little segment or bit or thing. We
Homeschool
can't tell if you're serious. Like, we got an email, and this guy mentioned his name last week from Menahaga, and he sent us this whole email about how we mispronounce it, and then he tells me about the city, and he's telling me it's a population of 1,200, and its claim to fame is this statue, and it's Chris Folkstad from Menahaga, and he says, "Hey, Doug, come ice fishing with me sometime."
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking,
Let's
Yes,
do
ice
that.
fishing or kick in the head. I'm not sure. But here's the deal.
Right there.
We can't. My wife and I will be traveling from Menahaga to Saddleback for the PDYM Conference this year. So he says we're going to bring you a St. Urho shirt.
Awesome.
So we need to make a note to do something nice to him. But I couldn't tell whether it was serious.
Or kidding. Well, a hose shirt. What is that?
Oh man.
Oh, here we go. Censor yourself.
Yeah,
But
that's
he's coming. The PDYM conference is this March, and so he's coming out, going to bring you a gift. That's sweet.
Yeah, but we couldn't really tell if he was serious. We got a phone call like that too. We couldn't tell whether this guy was serious or not.
All right.
Yeah. And I please hope that this is Carl.
You know, there's a good friend of mine, Dave Johnson, Pastor Dave Johnson.
No, that's the birthday
Baptist
guy.
Church. He's been
Man.
He says right here on the notes. Not sure
All right.
if this is
Should
real
we do the
Carl.
birthday?
Yeah.
I'll just fill in the
And is that the one?
That's Carl right there.
Cowbell.
That's not Carl. You titled it wrong.
You know, there's a good friend of mine, Dave Johnson, Pastor Dave Johnson,
That's the
Grafton Baptist
birthday
Church.
guy.
He's been
Let's just go on.
Okay. I guess I got it a little wrong here.
Oh man.
I'm
You know what? Let's put this on our list on how to kill a podcast.
We've got a long list of that.
Don't you have that guy where the phone call was kind of creepy? We call him Creepy Carl because we couldn't tell whether he was real or not.
Oh, I
It's
do.
ringing.
I do have that.
This is a guy whose birthday is today. I don't remember his name, but his friend's name is Dave Johnson. All right, here we
But
go.
that doesn't help us. Let's play it first. You're calling.
Hey, hello? Hey, who am I speaking with here?
This is Dave Johnson.
Dave Johnson, how are you?
Good. Who's this?
This is Josh Griffin. I'm calling. You're actually on the air right now at the Simple Youth Ministry podcast.
On the air, Dave Johnson. This is Doug Fields.
Hello, Mr. Fields. How are you?
I hear you got a birthday coming up.
Yeah, how'd you know that?
You know what?
We have our ways.
We have this little podcast that 4 people listen to,
And
and
you like to keep a personal touch.
yeah, and one of them said that your birthday was coming up, and so we're on this podcast, and we've never made a phone call before, so we thought we would make a phone call and wish you happy birthday. We're not going to do this ever again because we get this too
We'll get
often.
too many, yeah.
But you are the first and only happy birthday. How old are you, Dave?
I will be, was that still true?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
We're journalists.
I will be 38.
38.
Oh.
That's nothing. You'd be the second
38.
oldest in the room.
Yeah, that's 3 decades under Doug.
Yeah. Hey, Dave, have you heard our podcast yet?
I heard not only the first one, I also heard the test.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Well, you're in the next one.
All right.
This is live on the podcast.
You are in the club. All right. Well,
In
Dave,
the club.
where do you do ministry at?
I am at Grafton Baptist Church.
Okay.
Grafton Baptist Church? What state?
That is in Yorktown, Virginia.
Okay. No, he said it. You're supposed to do what he doesn't say.
boo.
Natalie and Matt, our technology wizards, are kind of messing us up, Dave.
She's
Hey, Dave,
technology wizard with the bell.
Dave, we only have a few minutes left, so we can't spend a lot of time saying happy birthday, but just know that when you listen to this, 4 other people listening are cheering you on. Thanks for doing youth ministry where you do it, and God bless you. And I'm going to send you a. We got to send
Oh,
some
we're
birthday
gonna send something.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey,
Birthday surprise.
Dave, send me your address and we'll send you a birthday surprise.
We're going to transfer you over to Jack.
I think you just hung up on it. What are you doing?
Our first birthday, guy.
Happy birthday! If you're still listening now on the podcast.
Wow.
Okay, I got the creepy call. I'm sorry.
That was painful.
That was painful. You were starting to talk to him forever. I thought you were going to ask him about his family lineage.
Okay, we've screwed up this whole podcast because
Yeah.
you were supposed to be ready. He's dialing. We're not even ready.
If
Some
we're
guy
even-
called in and said it's his birthday,
Yeah.
so
Wow.
we do the phone call. We don't even have the bit set up.
I know.
Natalie's leaving.
Natalie.
She's gone.
Thanks,
Ring
sir.
that bell.
Oh, she's taking the phone out. Okay, you want to do the
All right.
creepy caller?
Okay, here's the one. We're not sure if this is actually real or not.
All right.
Hey, Doug. This is your long-lost buddy. Thanks for starting podcasting. You look so pretty. Have a nice day.
Oh
I have a
boy.
guess.
Man, McGill's killing
I
you.
have a
Dude,
guess.
McGill.
That's not the one either?
No.
Oh,
Let me
I
ask you
screwed
this.
up again.
You did screw up again.
Oh!
Let me ask you this. Didn't this morning we have a little meeting, you, me, and Josh?
Yeah.
And we went
We're
through
schnitzel.
everything. I've even we went through everything that we're going to have ready for this.
Yes.
And now, in a matter of a few minutes, you have totally...
It all happened when I censored myself.
It just proves.
Lost the flow.
That is
All right.
a problem.
All right.
This is still
Now,
good
let me just say
television
this.
right here.
Last time we were together, last week, we said we're going to Denver and send us a challenge that we could record some challenges and give it, basically challenge you and I to record something.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So here we are. I'm on the plane, and we got some like get somebody famous. This was from Steve Ken Pratt from Youth for Christ, Wilmer, Minnesota. I'm sure I hacked his last name. Get somebody famous like Dr. James Dobson recommending Doug Phillips' podcast. We got Rick Lawrence. That's about as famous as we could get, the editor from Group.
So Dobson's famous.
Another guy saying, Jake Rasmussen saying, women over 85 saying something. We got another one saying from Lee Roberts in Bellefontaine, Ohio, Calvary Baptist Church.
Yay.
I think you need an actual cowbell. And we got a bunch of these.
Yeah.
One,
That's
they
not
were
an actual cowbell.
record Josh in the restroom fighting a bear for the last stall. That's funny. And Josh wasn't even on the trip. Yeah, I'm reading this stuff and I'm getting all excited about what can we do. I'm on the airplane. I just listened to the podcast and I hand these to Matt and Matt goes, "Oh, I forgot the recorder."
No way.
Yeah.
Are you
We
serious?
spent $129 to buy the recorder.
And now we can't
And
even.
Oh,
Matt
wow.
forgot it. And
You
so,
talked about that last week on the podcast.
yeah. Were you here?
I wondered if I was
was here,
because I
but she
missed that
wasn't.
So
completely.
anyway, we go to Denver. We don't have that, and
That hurts.
Matt. So in a series of a couple days, we had to keep track.
Yeah, that's
This
big.
is
That
dropping
was
the
a
ball.
big.
Yeah. Now, if we drop from number 2 on iTunes to number 11, I have a feeling it's going to be because of what just happened.
Well,
All right, let's go to a question.
no. You were supposed to record somebody last week. You were down talking to...
I was at Youth Specialties,
Yeah,
and
I
you
got that
said,
email.
And you were supposed to record Tick Long, but you somehow did not do that yourself. And so I believe that is a mistake that you need to atone for.
okay, well, let me just tell you, is I took the recorder with me. One, we were kind of in serious meetings, and two, you didn't teach me how to use it correctly.
Hey, you're totally full of it right now. I've got recording of that too, and I didn't screw this one up. Because here you go.
What do you have recording of
I've
what?
got recording of me showing you how to use this thing.
Oh,
Because
awesome.
I'll
This
have
is
you
good.
know, in the last 10 years I've been at Saddleback, I've showed you how to install fonts literally every 3 months. And so here's the deal.
That's actually kind of
You
true.
hit this one button once to go to a new file, and then your biggest thing, so you know, is you want to see those
I
numbers
can't believe
going
you
up
kept this one.
right here.
What number are we on?
This number. This tells you how much time your
Oh,
thing is,
yeah.
and that tells you
How much time is left?
It's really hard.
Okay, so one going up and one going down.
3 buttons.
Okay, and what did you get to start it?
Somebody help
Where are
me.
the fonts on this thing?
Okay, so stop it, a non-voice deal. It's playing now.
Camera's not on. Monotone voice.
A day in the life of Doug Fields.
All right.
We love technology.
Listen to this right, it's my favorite part.
top or 012.
Yeah.
That's the file number.
Okay.
So we hit the top again.
Yep.
Did it start
Yep.
recording?
Recording, test, test, hello, hello.
So,
Job.
again, stop.
Hello.
Okay, that's long enough.
Okay. Wake up,
There you go. That
wake
just
up.
proves you know how to use this thing.
Okay, we need to play that back sometime, and you guys tell me if you could. I mean, it's like a computer manual trying to figure that thing
Well,
out.
you know, Matt's coming in here all high and mighty too, but we actually, when we were testing the recorder too, we actually caught Matt breaking a chair, and we recorded it all live. Now, I don't know if we can play this clip, but this is a moment that will go down in youth ministry, and it's caught live on our new recorder. So,
For those of you that feel sorry for me that I'm fat, I continue to feel sorry.
Okay, so you guys are testing out the recorder. You're testing out the recorder.
I walk into a room.
Are you sitting on the chair?
Well, I walk into a room. Josh is in a meeting with somebody else. I don't even know what they're talking about.
Yeah, whatever.
My agenda was much more important. And here's what happens.
Just go about yourselves talking.
Oh, well, you know, I'm just really happy to be here today. And now it's in the middle of the room.
So happy he's fruity.
Now I'm kind of holding it up to my mouth like a microphone. Let's see how this works. Josh Griffin, please tell the audience what color your shirt is.
My shirt is a Jedi Independent Project black shirt.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Pogue, tell me what your favorite color is. There's someone done that in this church.
This is going on the podcast.
That's funny.
I'm testing the audio and I just broke the chair.
Did you sit on the chair?
Oh, he's kind of leaning.
1/4-inch thick die-cast metal.
He literally snapped it.
I need to go half-inch.
Here's the deal. I sit down in this chair and I put I like to lower myself gently, and one of the arms snapped off.
It was awesome.
All right,
one of the arms snapped.
All right, let's go to a question. This is from Matthew Johnson, Lancaster Community Church.
Lancaster.
Oh.
Yeah, no city and state. Okay. Here's the question. Our youth ministry is growing. My responsibilities are greatly increasing. Here's my question. Do you think I need to attend every youth activity? I realize that when I go, it adds excitement because the youth always love to have their pastor there. And when I don't go, the youth are disappointed. But there are activities that I simply don't want to go to. Not to mention that I'm running out of time every week. How do you handle that? And he goes on to say about the size of his church, and he's been added, he has to preach a lot now, and he's running young adults on Sundays, and he's got to go to 3 services. So he says, I'm not being lazy. And it's a great question. And here's what I would say. I don't think, I mean, I've been youth pastor at Saddleback since '92, and I don't go to everything. And some people say I don't go to anything.
Sorry, you were just a
Josh, you would never say that.
That was a videocast only moment. Sorry.
That would be almost critical.
But here's the deal. I tell you this, Matthew, and anybody else. Let me tell you something about
I thought you were talking to me.
Matthew, don't be lazy.
Oh, man.
Allow him to focus.
The deal is that I think ultimately in leadership it becomes less about you and more about other leaders. That you don't have to be at everything. That of course they like to see you, but after a while, your job is to get out of the way and get other leaders, get your volunteers more exposure, more leadership. But the thing that you do is you die a little death each time you stop going to things, or each time you give away responsibility. I can't tell you in 25 years of youth ministry how many times I've just gone, oh, I used to do that, or I used to enjoy doing that. The reality is, as your church gives you more responsibility, you can't do everything. You can't do everything and live a normal life. You can't do everything and have balance in your life. You can't do everything and have margin. You just can't. You can't do everything. So you're probably the only one that's feeling guilty. But I would say you got to look at your life and go, okay, here are the things I can do. Here's the things I can't do. You know what? Students may like it when I'm there, but they're going to have to like it when I'm not there too. Because really, ultimately, you're trying to build health beyond yourself.
I wouldn't add anything else to say.
Good.
Other than
But
I have a question: is that where are you getting pressure from? Like, are you getting pressure from your boss, or who you report to, or is it some of your volunteers, or whatever? Because I think that could be an important way to deal with this and think about it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I think the reality of it is you can't grow. I mean, you're going to bottleneck growth. If you have to be at everything and lead everything, you're gonna lead a few dozen kids, and that's all your bandwidth is able to handle. I mean, you've got to share that responsibility and learn to let go.
That's right. So
just Mac users won't understand what bandwidth is.
That's true. More emails.
What's that? Oh,
we only
Brazel's
have
trying
a couple minutes left. We gotta hustle.
Not even a couple minutes.
Why does this time
One
just
and
go by
two.
so fast? Here's what we got to do. Here's the contest of the month. I want to set this up
For the entire month.
Yeah.
Please set this up because you've been trying to explain this to us for a long time.
Well, here's the deal. I've started something. It's actually happening. Yesterday I was at my son's junior high school, and I used the word chem, C-H-E-M, chem. And one of the kids in the junior high goes, "You use that too?" And I love it, because here's what I did. At the beginning of the new year, I sat my kids down, my own children, Tori, Cody, Cassie, and I said, let's do this. Let's come up with a word and try to get it to sweep through your schools. So instead of saying cool, sweet, awesome,
Gnarly.
yeah, just use the word.
Boss. We have a friend that likes to use the word boss.
Boss, I like it.
Let's just use the word chem.
Confuse the people.
Let's use the word chem. So now my family is using the word chem. And here's the
Did you just
contest.
say the word family?
Here's Come on in. You look chem today.
Hey, babe.
Welcome. Come on, get in.
We only have a few minutes left.
You look chem today.
We have 5 seconds left.
We're gonna 5 seconds?
We're running
We are
out.
live here in the podcast.
Here's the deal.
Podcast is over.
Kathy Fields just showed up, and my second wife, Cassie Fields, my 11-year-old daughter, just showed up as well. Cass, I was telling him about chem. Okay? So what we're trying to do, I've got one in elementary school, one in junior high, and one in high school. We're trying to sweep the schools with the word chem. So here is the contest. Okay? Here's the contest. A youth worker uses the word chem and begins to infuse it into their youth ministry during talks and Bible studies, and going, oh, that's chem. And then records it somehow during a message and sends us just that clip.
Awesome.
We are going to pick the best use of the word chem, and we're going to give somebody a free purpose-driven youth ministry conference and a free pass it on conference. Two conferences free.
I'll tell you right now what will win.
What?
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Is if while you're angry at your senior pastor and you yell at him using the word chem rather than some other words, then that will definitely win.
No,
And
you
have to be
misunderstood the whole
recording
thing.
Chem is a good word.
Chem is a
You
good
can't
word.
use it when you're mad.
Well, see, Kathy knows. Hey, babe.
Maybe a recording of your senior pastor using the word.
Oh,
that would probably.
Okay, that's the
Pastors are
contest.
so cheesy.
No,
They'll do it.
Here's the
I'm
deal.
ruining chem.
Chem is good, cool, awesome, wonderful. That's chem.
No.
So we're trying to change the culture of language. So this came out of Simply Youth Ministry. Use the word chem, record it in your ministry.
Send it to us, podcast at simplyyouthministry.com. We'll pick the best.
Kathy, next week is Valentine's Day, next Tuesday.
Yes.
And what I'm thinking is, why don't you come on our little podcast? Since, hey, what, do you want to come on?
No, I have a book report due on Tuesday.
All right, Kathy Fields, why don't you come on?
Okay,
and
great.
we'll talk about some family questions and
It
stuff
would be
like
so
that.
chem.
That would be
Now you got it. Now you
If I
got
was
it.
yelling at my senior pastor, I'd say, "Why can't you be more chem?"
Okay, now
Oh,
they
okay.
could do that.
That
like
makes
that.
sense, Matt.
All right, here's the big, because Kathy's here because we got to leave.
Are you on the same item?
Oh, yeah. What did you steal?
Wait, I know what was stolen. Okay,
Oh.
let's go to the stolen from so and so's house.
Oh, great.
All right.
Okay. We
Because
gotta go.
okay.
No, I want to watch this part.
Okay, here's the deal.
Hurry up. You've got.
Josh was over at our house
Yeah.
watching Survivor.
Survivor
when
on
me and Matt
Thursday.
were in Denver, and I know what you stole.
Shoot.
So if you get caught, you have to return it.
Shoot.
Okay.
All right.
Turn it in.
What did I steal?
Well, I had to take
All
the
right.
teapot home.
Say what
last
it is.
week.
Say what it is.
You
and I'll
stole
get it.
one of our kids' photographs. that
One
are-
of them is not specific enough.
No, you stole.
which one?
You don't know which one.
Cassie's. Cassie's.
That is
Oh,
not.
Cassie didn't even notice.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it was on the wall. What?
I didn't notice. Well, we're in the middle of construction too.
There it
Our
is.
whole
There it
house
is.
destroyed.
This is
Stolen
video
from Doug's
video
house.
Oh,
only.
that's
Look how
so
beautiful
cute.
she is. She
That
is
was
gorgeous.
like so long ago.
No, it's just a couple years
Well,
ago.
there was construction in your house, so I thought.
But you were caught. Caught. Okay, now I was at your house for the Super Bowls. This is a great story.
Oh.
This is unbelievable.
Do you know
I
those
want to
stories?
call it out right now. Okay.
Okay.
So we're over. You guys are all over for the Super Bowl. We're having a great time, and my wife has to take our dog for a walk. And I'm at church or something.
Okay, let me tell you why. Okay, go ahead.
And so she's out, and the dog jumps into the bushes and like is wrestling around and pulls out this Polish sausage, a frozen solid Polish sausage. The dog brings it into the house. My wife says, "We even buy this brand," and it's sitting. It was in the She could not believe it.
Well, here's what I did.
While you were gone, she came upstairs and she's showing all us girls, look what my dog just found.
The brand you buy in the bushes.
Was right there, just typing down.
She didn't ask where anything came from because I would have had to run. I went into his freezer. I'm looking around the house for something to steal. I go into his freezer. I just thought it'd be so funny to bring in a Polish sausage.
Very funny.
That is not funny.
So then I go outside.
Polish sausage is
I go
always
outside to take it to my car, and I realize I'm in my socks outside, and I forgot the keys to my car. So Natalie, I just throw the Polish sausage in the bushes, thinking I'll get it on my way. Absolutely. Okay.
Awesome.
So then a half hour later, his wife comes up and says, "You wouldn't believe what happened."
And then so she tells me later that night, and she's like, "How would this have gotten in there?" And I said, "I have no idea. There's only one reason that I could be in there: the podcast stolen from the Griffin's house."
But do you know what was next, though?
So I looked through the house, thinking, "Okay, what did they steal?" And the only thing I found missing was a cross from behind the door was stolen from our house.
Not me.
So
yeah, I took that as a decoy.
So did you actually take it?
Oh yeah.
So where is it?
I didn't even bring it up here because I don't even care about the cross. It's in my car.
No, you
Wait about the cross. That's like his kid saying he's going to kill Jesus. Did we talk about
This
that?
podcast could take a lot longer now that my kid just killed Jesus.
We're at the Super Bowl, and we're trying to get his kids out of the way because his kids are like, performers like he is. They're standing in front of the television, and we said, "Hey, take your Star Wars stuff downstairs." And he says, "I'm gonna kill Jesus."
I didn't hear that.
With the lightsaber.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the deal, man. I know that you guys both
killed that story.
Sorry,
my kids go to Saddleback. I have no idea what's being taught.
Okay, get on with the stealing from Josh's.
So I know the cross is gone, and there was a Polish sausage that my dog found in the weeds.
You want to wait? If you stole the cross.
Thank you.
What do you mean a decoy?
I just did that because I knew he'd notice it. It was in the middle of the wall. I figured once he saw that the cross was gone, he figured what it is. What I really took was something that was very, very important. And for those of you, there's a select few of you out there that have an Xbox 360. Josh and I happen to own this thing because we got to go to the opening event.
Okay, just get to
But here's what it is I stole your hard drive. So for those of you that don't have, this is all his games and his logon and all his achievements and everything like this.
And no, we're not going to put it on eBay.
And yeah, I think we will put that on eBay.
So all the tech people watching are really
unbelievable.
Yeah, that's like the heart and soul.
Anything else you think was stolen?
That is awesome. So between the cross and the sausage, I stopped looking. I mean, I was just figured that was it.
How many pairs of underwear do you have?
The pair that I'm wearing. I know for sure.
So after the sausage was found,
after
the sausage was found, I went into your bedroom and I went through your drawers and I stole three boxers and I shrink wrapped them.
And you went through his drawers to grab his drawers.
Wow.
Wait a second, these really are my underwear.
Yes, they are.
Did you shrink wrap that
and stolen from your house.
That is off. Now this I would put on eBay, but not that.
Well,
that's too.
Speaking of eBay,
yeah, we have.
You guys got to go. I got a great story to tell.
Wait! Before you go, you got to sign this.
Wait.
We won this on eBay.
Okay, here's the deal. Cody's got a basketball game in 20 minutes, and I'm not going to be late to it.
That's
I told you guys we should need to start this, so you can finish it off.
Okay, and next week, can we talk about whether it's right to go into drawers and steal things?
No, maybe after next week's show.
Okay. I don't know if I like drawers.
Payback.
Kathy's got lots of hidden things.
What
else did you take?
I just took the picture from your
Okay,
house.
why don't you do this?
Okay.
I gotta go. We gotta make a basketball
Your
game.
husband draws the line.
Here's the deal.
Goes into a drawer.
Babe, did you know they put this on eBay?
$65 and $5 shipping.
But here's the deal. We've got to come up.
Whoever bought that?
No.
That's awesome.
Wow. The word.
Oh,
Yes.
We have got to come up with a charity of what we're going to do for anything we put on eBay. We got to come up with something new on eBay, but all the money has to go to something. Something significant.
Which Josh considers his lunch.
No.
In all seriousness,
autographed.
It'll go to some nonprofit organization.
Let's have, like, say for example, I know some people who their husbands or wives were youth workers and they passed away, and we could start a spouse fund. I would like to. Kathy and I have done that before.
That's cool.
we've given to youth workers. Yeah, SYM and other youth workers have pitched in. We need to. Oh my gosh, we need to do something related to that. So
okay,
let's
you better get out of here. You're going to pass away.
Okay.
All right, you guys finish this up.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got one last story. You already know about it. I'm going to tell it on the on air.
I got a couple. I got a couple more questions for next week. We only got one. We got to figure out how to get to more questions.
We got to get out of here.
We got to two.
All right, bye, you guys.
Don't go too well. See you guys.
Natalie, we
Nice cowbell.
We got to be specific with that bell. It was. I think it was used too much.
You coach him later.
No church.
Yeah.
Coach later.
All right. See you guys.
I'll be listening.
You got
Stay strong.
You got all kids to coach.
We'll debrief after it's over.
Let's get it up to number 1. All right, that's right.
Okay, really quick. Doug picked out 3 reviews on iTunes
Oh, wait a
that we
minute.
need
Before
to.
we get really quick.
Oh, we're gonna.
Chim's
so
He
lame.
had 3. I'm not going to say it's lame.
Chim sounds like phlegm. I'm gonna go on record being critical and say it's lame.
I'm
But
going
I'm
to go.
talking to the video and the audio.
I
Doug, that idea of Chim was awesome.
All right. Would you leave the papers there?
Yeah.
Come back on again.
We got it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's Chim, dude. It sucks so bad. All right, here we go.
Oh, he's looking in the window now. Okay, Josh, what do you got? We've only got like 2 things.
Okay, here we go.
Oh my gosh,
so
we are
on
10 minutes
iTunes,
over.
we have 3.
This serves no purpose.
We have 3 reviews on iTunes that we've selected to win. We don't know what you're going to win, but we'll each.
Let's do the reviews for next week. Now let's just end it.
Awesome. Well, you want to tell a little story?
I've got one thing to say. We were meeting some people in Denver, and we had a meeting, and it was all day. It was blah, 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 meeting. At lunchtime, it was great because they had all these soups. I went straight to the chili. Fields gave me this look like, dude, we're in meetings. Don't eat the chili. It was awesome. Because we were with other people, and I knew he couldn't verbally confront me, I dove right into the chili, double helping. The thing that kind of sucked a little bit was I did have a lot of gas that I had to hold in. But the beautiful thing is after a full day of meetings, you know, hey, so what do you think and all that stuff, we're kind of closing up and we're walking out. And the guy says to Doug, you know, I've only got one observation that I got to share with you, is that we've met now 4 times, and every time you've worn the same shirt.
Seriously?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
and so,
that's awesome.
And the guy says that, and Fields, you should have seen how red his face was. And so this is the shirt, which I'm not sure why you'd want to wear this 4 times.
Wait,
but
now
he has met this guy 4 times over the last year and a half. And every time he has been with this guy, he has worn this shirt.
Let's put it on eBay.
And so it's definitely on eBay.
It's a large Jedediah shirt. It's like a long sleeve.
Yeah, large.
Well, you'll see a
won't
picture
fit
of
me.
it. Go to the podcast page, click eBay. Can we sell Doug's clothes on eBay?
Oh, we totally are. Okay,
And
here, we're leaving it.
Oh, so fun. Okay, one last thing. Exclusive for podcast listeners only. I'm glad you're still hanging with us. If you go to the podcast page, we are going to give you a free sample of a new resource we've got coming out that we, A, want you to just check out and tell us what you think about it, and B, we want you to help us name this new resource. It's kind of tentatively called Dot Races right now, and you can click on this and download it right from the podcast page today. When you hear this, please grab it. There's also a poll with kind of the top 4 names that we like, and then also and a space for you to write in your own.
3 that we like, 1 that just Josh likes.
So use the resource called Dot Races. Vote Need for Speed should be the title of it, and tell us what you think. Exclusive for podcast listeners only. Check it out and send an email to podcast@simplyyouthministry.com.
You hit this one button once to go to a new file. And then
How great is that?
This is solid. All right. Well, that's the end of episode 2. We will see you next week.
We will.
Fun.
We will.
See you on eBay.
Music from today's episode was provided by the PodSafe Music Network. Check it out at music.podshow.com.
That's the best promo ever!
McGill is going to be made fun of next week so bad.
He made his own promo!
Fields is going to kill you.